Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is set to introduce 8 or more characters in this story by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, what's really great about this film is that we do know that a new villain is going to be used in this movie in order to evolve the characters of both Rey and Kylo Ren, and is going to be used as a tool in a sense that's going to bring both Kylo Ren and Rey together in order to fight this new threat in the movie. Now, what's really interesting about J.J. Abrams is that we do know that he's very ambitious and goal-driven with this movie in order to create something that we have never seen before on the big screen. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Kylo Ren, Rey, and the new foe in Episode 9. Now, specifically, shot descriptions consisting of the new villain lifting Kylo Ren up by the neck and choking him, where it's described that with his other hand, the foe is using the Force stasis technique to keep Rey still. It's described that prior to this, Rey tried to throw Anakin's lightsaber at the villain, where the saber is described to be ignited and frozen in mid-air. The next describes that the villain dropping Kylo Ren on the ground, as well as letting go of Rey, where it's said that the villain is trying to turn them both to his side. He is said to now be holding Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber, where Kylo's is hidden away over in the corner near a metal wall. The next goes over the villain throwing in a significant reference to Darth Vader, where the villain tells Kylo Ren that he knew his grandfather very well, and that his failure seems to have carried on over to his own grandson. It said that one of the tasks for the new foe is to turn Kylo Ren down a darker path for his own benefit, for an unknown reason, and even goes on to reveal that the villain talks about his body decaying. From the dark side, another goes over Rey now force-pulling Kylo's saber into her hand, where she tosses it to Ben, where Kylo is said to ignite his saber, where he throws it at the foe to distract him, where Rey manages to grab hold of her saber again, which leads to a moment in which the foe force pushes Kylo and Rey, dropping their hilts, where they switch both of them and use opposite lightsabers against the new villain's single blade. So I really want to go over a couple of parts about this and a couple of things that are truly shocking to me as a fan. Now, one thing I will say is that we do know that J.J. Abrams is using the new villain as a way to really stitch the entire Skywalker saga into one massive set of 9 movies, and that to me I think is going to speak volumes. We do know that the spirit of Sidious is going to be used in this movie, and that is one of the ways that Palpatine is going to return in Episode 9. However, it does bring one to question, is Palpatine indeed the new villain all along? I want to go over a couple of things here that are direct references and parallels to what we got in Star Wars Dark Empire, which by the way is a Legends comic in which Darth Sidious comes back to life. So, I want to go over the piece in which the new villain is described to give a lecture to Ben Solo that he knows his grandfather Darth Vader, or at least knew his own grandfather Darth Vader, and actually witnessed his own failure and sees that his own grandson is going through the same exact failure here, which is of course conflict, right? Sensing a conflict within Kylo Ren. Not only that, alright, what's really intriguing is that he needs Ben Solo to turn to the dark side completely for his own benefit for an unknown reason. So why would the new villain need Ben Solo / Kylo Ren to turn to the dark side completely in order to benefit from Kylo Ren? Now, if you guys actually do examine the Dark Empire comic line, you do realize that Darth Sidious turns Luke to the dark side in order to plan for something unreal. And even Palpatine says in the Darth Vader, or should I say in the Dark Empire comic line, he tells Luke, "Perhaps I could even be as you," through the power of essence transfer. So the other piece that I want to go over is that the new villain actually also goes over, describing how his body is continuously decaying. Dark Acolyte is indeed the new villain, possessed by, of course, the spirit of Sidious, since one of the sequences that we went over about 4 days ago included the Dark Acolyte with a cloud, a red cloud by the way, over his back that was actually described to be the spirit of Sidious. So what's intriguing to me about this whole entire situation is the 3 things here, right? The fact that this new villain describes that his body is decaying. The second being is that he knew, Ben Solo's grandfather, of course, Darth Vader, and saw his failure and now sees the same exact failure. happening with his own grandson. And the third thing that I want to go over is that this new villain is actually said to be pretty much, central to the overall plot of episode 9. It really is. And that to me speaks volumes. It tells us that, the fact that J.J. Abrams is using this new villain as a way in order to really combine all 9 movies into one big movie, you can only imagine what's going to happen at the very end of the film. So I think that the one piece that really does impress me the most is when both Rey and Kylo Ren are described to use opposite lightsabers against this new villain, where Rey is using Kylo's and Kylo's is using Rey's, against the single-bladed lightsaber that the new foe wields. So this to me sounds like it really is going to be very impressive, that J.J. Abrams is really trying to go towards something that we have never seen before on the big screen, and you can only imagine as to exactly what kind of revelations are coming our way that will have saga-wide implications in this story. Anyways guys, drop a comment below, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.